So there's a yellow light flashing?
Red right now.
Red,
Is that right? Should that be recording,
right.
would you say? Okay.
Okay.
So I make a motion to open the Board of Assessors meeting, the Town of Warren's Assessors, for May 16th at 10:06 a.m. All in favor?
Aye. Deborah Hardy, aye.
Motion made and second. The meeting is now open. Oh, and it's being recorded.
Yes.
I don't think there's anybody
I
else
think
here
we're
that,
supposed to say all members present. Are we supposed to do that? I believe we did that during the last meeting.
Are all members present?
No, we don't say that. We just name who's present, I guess.
Okay, Don Mikowski's present.
Deborah Hardy is present.
and we don't have anybody from the public, and
Yeah.
nobody is recording except for WCA T6 for local public access.
Okay.
So Sheila Hunkins is present.
So we have the agenda. Don, go ahead.
To approve the minutes for April 24th, 2024, and we weren't here for that date, so those minutes will be,
What do you do with that?
So those would have to be put aside. Those can't be voted on by this board because this board wasn't in place for April 24th, so we can
Okay.
pass on that.
Okay, pass on that.
Next,
bills, no outstanding bills.
do we have any outstanding bills?
Nope.
No, okay.
Okay.
Old business. House members to be assigned and approved.
So if we could, Dawn, instead of going to old business, can we do new business first?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go to new business, organize the board.
Okay. So it's me and you.
You wanna be chair? So what
No.
positions do we have? We have going to be the chair, the vice chair, and a member.
A member.
Because there's three of us, if I'm not mistaken, there should be
Eventually,
three of us.
yeah. I don't mind being vice chair,
So then that would leave me to be the chair.
but that's up to you.
I will take that position.
Thank you.
Thank you for being vice chair.
So who's the chair?
Me, Don
You're the
So
McCoskey.
we gotta make a
okay.
motion, and somebody's gonna make a motion and second it and nominate.
Each member,
Right.
motion for each member?
Yep.
I make a motion to accept Don Mikowski as the chairman.
Well, you can't make the motion.
I
I
make the
can't make the
motion.
motion.
Okay.
I make the motion for Don Kowski to be the chair.
Can I second the motion?
Yeah.
I second the motion.
Do I say something too? I'm not sure how this works in terms
Right.
of
Know
me.
if anybody's in the building,
Hi.
if anybody's in the building office,
Yep, there's a secretary down there, yep.
Sarah?
Sarah, yep.
yeah, Sarah's not there and Bill's not there, it's empty, but the room's open.
Okay, you can
The
check
room's
down
open?
down the
You
hallway.
want me to call for them?
No, Sheila,
Oh, I'm sorry.
no, I need you to take the minutes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I thought you were
No,
just
yeah,
helping
yeah,
him out
yeah,
for a
yeah.
minute. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't think you can second or third any kind of
No.
motion
So-
because you're not.
Yeah, you're not a member.
Oh, okay, so you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah,
be
yeah.
part of the board.
Yeah.
Correct.
Temporary
Okay.
administrative
Yeah,
assistant at
Okay.
this point in time.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Okay.
So, we have a second by Don Mikowski. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so we have a
So we
chairman
have
of
a
the
chair.
board.
Do we have
Okay, great.
A motion to make
a vice chair?
I make a motion to accept Deborah Hardy as the vice chair person. Do I hear a second?
I second that motion.
Motion made and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion has been accepted.
Okay, very good. I'm glad we have a, somewhat of a board now that we have two members here, and now that we have assembled, we can, I believe the selectmen will want me to put out an advertisement for a third member, and so then that, once we get solicitations for that third member, then we will have a joint meeting between the boards of assessors and the selectmen, and everybody would have an opportunity to vote on a third member until the next election.
Okay.
And so, as part of the role of the Board of Assessors, we have been notified by the state to make sure that our new members are aware that there are some requirements from the state to do some training and certification with regards to modulars for assessing purposes, the 101 course. In particular, it's important that the board, at least a majority of the board, become certified, at least right now with Modular 0 and Modular 4, pretty quickly.
Is it 0 through 4 or?
No, 0 and 4.
0 and 4.
Modular
okay.
0 and 4.
So 2 and 3, or 1, 2, and 3 just,
Well, that needs to be done, but there's a little bit more
Okay.
time, is my understanding for those. The
Okay.
most critical ones are 0 and 4, from what I was told by the Department of Revenue. So if the board can work on getting a majority of its members through that, and we notify the state that has been completed, and we can update that through our gateway, then that will certainly help the town with its classification process.
So I just
Awesome.
want to report that I have finished those two,
0 and 4?
0 and 4.
Excellent, thank you.
is there a test after each one?
There is a quiz after each one, so I have successfully passed those.
Awesome.
So Don, it's now it's you gotta
Pressure's on.
pressure's on.
I don't know if I have to show you, I didn't get a certificate, but I did get a letter. saying
Okay.
For both of them, that I
Okay.
did successfully pass
Excellent.
them.
Perfect, that's great. And then the rest of the modulars, I believe you have 1 year from
1 year.
1 year from the appointment. So from your election, I should say. So you have a year to finish that. But those 2 modulars were critical. So thank you, Mrs. Hardy, for doing that in such a great, timely manner. And Don, if we could just work on that. If you need any assistance logging in or anything, please stop by. More than happy to help.
Okay, thank you.
So was that under organizing the board?
Yeah, it was just.
Debriefing and office operations, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Don. Next item.
Debriefing on operations of office and outstanding correspondence.
Oh, I need to go back to the old business, of the
We-
house numbers.
We're not there yet.
We're gonna go back to it.
We're
Oh,
gonna
we're
do
gonna go back
new
to
business
that.
first, and then
I see, okay, thank you.
Debriefing on operations of office and outstanding correspondence. Debriefing on operations.
So Don, if I may, we're all relatively new to this role, and we have quite a bit on our plate for everything that we're trying to get accomplished in a short period of time. And so we have our clerk in the office, Sheila Huckins, who's been doing a great job with reaching out to residents as they come in and helping them move along some of their questions and concerns. And I've asked her to always inform the board of any issues or problems that may come up during the week, and myself. And so, along with looking at emails that have been sitting there for a few weeks, along with answering the phones, getting messages, getting the mail, prioritizing different important things for the board to look at and review. that is really in obviously taking the minutes and making sure that the board has all the supporting documentation for their meetings. That is the role of the assessor's clerk position, and Sheila is going to be working in that position under that role. Now, there has been, prior to this board organizing, we had set, with the previous board and myself, hours in which they would like to see, the office at least open, right now for the public. And when Sheila was hired, it was made clear that the office could, the hours could change based on the operational needs of the office. So I'm not sure what the board would like to see in terms of office hours. I mean, right now it's been 8 to 1:15, Monday through Thursday. She's allotted to do 19 hours a week. That's it. And so, it's totally up to the board if they want to, make a modification or change in terms of, accessibility to the office, if they would like to do that.
I'm a little confused, Jim,
Yep.
because I do understand you did tell me, in fact, that
Yep.
the hours could change.
Yep.
I was told something about a 9 to 2,
Uh-huh.
okay? I'm doing 8:30 to 1:15.
Yep.
But the other thing that I was
8:15 to
told,
1:15, I'm sorry.
the other thing that I was told was that the board is not my boss, and
Right.
the way you are structuring this right
Right.
now is like they are my boss,
Right.
and that they're gonna set my hours.
Right.
So I'm confused as to why they'll be setting my hours and not the town administrator.
Yeah. So I
Um,
work with all the boards across the spectrum. So, I want to take their advice. I mean, if
I
they're
didn't say, you didn't put it that way.
Yeah.
You just said whatever works for them and whatever they decide
I
is
mean-
gonna be the way the office hours go.
yeah,
I think I feel comfortable with you being my boss,
yeah,
in terms of telling me what I gotta do, and then we'll see what happens, right? I
Right.
mean, cause right now, it seems to be working for the public
yeah,
as well as anybody else, that
Uh-huh.
8:30 to 1:15 seems to be working
Yeah.
out Monday through Thursday.
yeah.
Um,
And that may be the case. I would like to get some feedback from the board.
Well, how can they give you feedback when they haven't been here to see who comes in, when they come in, what's going on, when the phone calls come in? They don't know all that information, so how can they give you feedback?
Well, I think I think over the course of the next few weeks, the board will be coming in and will be making
And
assessments.
I wanna tell you something right now, as far as, reporting to them of the issues, I will report to them once a week, basically, or at the end of my day or something like that. This is not gonna be like, you can't walk into my office at 10 o'clock in the morning and say, oh, I want you to report whatever issues you have to me right now. That's not how I operate as a professional clerical. I'd be happy to schedule something with everybody, but I don't go, oh, you just walk into the office and suddenly I gotta drop everything and go to some other list and tell you what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah. I think we're all going to be
I'm
able
sure
to
we can work something
work
out. I
something
mean,
out,
like,
yeah.
if you want me to send you like an email every day before I leave or something like that, I can certainly do something like that.
I look at it again, in absence of an assistant assessor, okay? So,
And wait a minute, that's on the agenda here to be
Yeah,
talked about.
so in
So-
absence of an assistant assessor who would coordinate with your position, and the assistant assessor is coordinated through the Board of Assessors and reports and works for the Board of Assessors. So this is all in coordination. So I think what the best approach to all of this, and how I take all of the boards that I'm involved with, is to get their feedback, okay? Yes, you are correct, you would report to the town administrator. However, I do take into consideration, suggestions and feedback from
So
the
the other
board.
thing is, there are office hours here, and I believe, is it Monday through Friday?
Monday through Friday for
I
what?
believe the normal office hours, I could go look and see what the normal office hours for this office are, but those
No,
will
it's
be
Monday through
office hours.
Thursday. Monday
No,
through
no,
Thursday.
no, I think it's Monday through Friday.
For this office,
For this office, and that would be, of course, the responsibility of the assistant assessor to complete.
Right.
Oh, you're right, it was Monday through Thursday, office closed on Friday.
Can we just say
Yeah.
something now?
yeah, I'm sorry, so I'd like to get some feedback from the
yeah.
board.
I personally think that maybe those things would be discussed when we actually hired the assistant assessor. Because they would be working closely with Cheryl. I don't have a problem with the morning hours, and as they are right now, I don't have any concern.
Right, I mean,
Okay.
I just, it's, I mean,
I don't-
I did agree to a change in hours, so
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I did not, I did
Yeah.
agree that if it
Mhm.
works for this department,
Mm-hmm,
if they need me at a different time.
mm-hmm.
But that was when I had no experience and I didn't know what I was saying, of course, I just assumed there could be a
Yeah.
reason
Mhm.
why I would need to be here at different
Mhm.
hours. You see
So,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
so it's all based on the operational needs of the office, so, you know, I mean, I think it's critical that once the board, lands on a qualified assistant assessor, and, you know, that discussion may have to, you know, happen at that time.
Yeah, I'm okay with the morning hours.
And I'm lucky that I survived, people. I am lucky that I survived. And this can all be edited out. They're not gonna record. This isn't
Yes,
all.
they will.
No, there's no editing.
Oh, I thought there was for
No,
this.
no.
Yes, no, because it's recorded. I was told that. But anyways,
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say here is, what was I trying to say here?
I think you're just trying to say that these are your hours.
No, well, these are my hours right
And
now.
you're ready
They
to be
seem to be
flexible.
working, right?
They do seem to be
Um,
working.
But the responsibility would lie on the person working full-time to work the full-time hours, right?
That's up to the board.
What do you mean, up to the board?
So the board, again, that's the board's appointment. So the assistant assessor is the board's appointment. So,
Right,
yeah,
but that we do have full-time hours,
that would be a full-time position, yeah.
and they would be working a full-time position, so I
Right.
believe they would be responsible for covering full-time hours in this office. Right.
Mhm.
So it's not gonna be like, I'm not gonna half cover for the assistant.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what I was trying to say. I came into this office and I knew nothing about the assessor's office. So, and I fully admitted that in open meeting at the Board of Selectmen. I really knew nothing. So what I'm trying to say is that I've really come quite a long
Yes,
way.
you have. Absolutely.
Understanding this, I could have been sitting here literally overwhelmed and crying my eyes out because nobody took me by the hand and told me what to do. I had to figure it out.
You did, yes.
And I did so, and I'm happy. I'm happy that I was able to do so, and I did so to serve our town.
Mhm.
You know, so I am here to serve this department and the town. You know, I'm just a little concerned that we're suddenly talking about my hours as. I did agree, but you know.
Yeah, again, this is all based on the operations of the office, so
Yeah.
I want to bring to the board's attention, not that we have to make a change
My
today.
expectation would simply be that the full-time person, who's gonna be, you know, they get the full-time salary and all that stuff, and the benefits and everything, right? I just assume that the full-time person is going to be responsible for covering the full-time hours. That my presence here is only to augment what they do, and they get to sort of decide too, probably for you guys, decide when they feel it would be like the best time for me to be here,
Yeah,
right?
so,
And I
well,
do want to say that Sheila actually works way past her.
Well, no, I tried to help
Yeah,
out,
you
I
did.
wanted to help out with
Yeah.
this
Mhm.
transition.
Around.
I was
Mhm.
told that this department was in transition when
Yeah.
I first got here
Yeah.
too. I didn't realize it was in complete
Mhm.
turmoil, but transition, but I didn't,
Yeah.
you know. So I was told that too, that it was in
Is the
transition.
assistant assessor going to be mostly out in the field, or are they going to be here?
no, in the office.
In the office.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be doing all of these like technical things that,
Yeah.
you know, obviously they need to be certified too, right, and stuff like that, so.
They have some things to do, so
But-
we need to like talk about the applications, but we're going on. So-
Okay.
I'm sorry, I
No,
don't
no.
mean to.
No, at this point in time, Sheila, you're here.
You're here.
No, but I think it
you're the
works
boss.
like the,
We-
no, I
we're
think
only
it.
gonna get- We're only gonna get feedback from you.
No, I seriously though, right now, I think the hours
Mhm.
are working. I
Oh.
can't see like how me being here at a different time frame would serve anybody any better than what's going on right now.
Point taken.
But that's all that I understand right now,
Mhm.
you know,
Okay.
so,
Okay.
okay.
So, next, any correspondence, did we get any letters from anybody? Sheila?
Yeah, I was wondering about the
yes.
emails, did we have a chance to go over any of those?
So
or-
the emails, yes, let me, this was actually for executive session. This is stuff that we got regarding
we could-
the LA 13. These are approvals, and these are, this is an email that we got,
These are all from April, we
Yeah.
were gonna just print them out and see
Okay.
what we needed. Did you get a chance to do any of the ones that were in?
oh yeah, we don't have a whole lot to
Oh, so
go
this-
over, but I did have some, so let me see, there should be some here. Yes, here it is,
Okay,
okay.
so do you want us to?
So
just
this
review
is,
them?
oh no, that's not it either, that's the town meeting thing. We didn't have a whole lot to go over, I did give you that, this is a cherry sheet, so you
Yes.
guys need that, okay?
Yeah, that's,
so
that
here,
was
this is for
communicated
you.
to us, okay.
This is for you. Do you want one too?
No, I have one. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right, okay.
Okay, so that's for you guys.
So,
This is your list, Deborah, that you wanted everybody to
Yeah.
have.
But that's just communications, we any letters or any
Yes, hold
emails?
on, yes,
Yeah.
I do have that.
Yeah.
So obviously we need to approve those house numbers. This is, the LA 13 that we're supposed to be working on.
Mhm.
But I had something here, it said warning, remember that one? I think I gave you one, did you see that? Warning from somebody about, our certification or our tax levy or something? Did somebody, I mean, I can print
Okay,
it back
okay.
out, let's see. I already printed it this morning, I was here early enough,
I know, sometimes it's just so much.
I'm sorry, I'll have to,
No, we're all here.
that's that. Gee whiz.
So,
So there was, do you remember what I'm talking about? Cause this is something that just, came up. I just printed it out. So I don't know
Yeah.
where it went,
okay,
at this point. Thought I had everything perfectly organized this
Okay,
morning,
all right.
okay,
but apparently not.
okay, so we can come back to that.
So we're gonna
Yeah.
record this every week, like I'm gonna be recorded looking like an idiot.
Don't you hate when that happens?
I guess it's okay.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
ready, we can
So,
move on.
next item, Don?
But the, I'll have to make a strong list of like
Yeah, that's
who we-
okay.
who we get communications from. But let me just,
Set up with keys in office and ID badges.
I've done that.
Okay,
I've done
so,
that.
so do you have your keys and badges?
I
oh,
have
here it is, guys, I'm
badge
sorry.
For, to get into the
Yep.
town hall,
Yeah, yeah.
This is the most
Does the
important thing we
key
got.
the key, the Benko key open up all offices today, or?
Oh, you got the key
Did
to
you
the
see that?
office? Yeah.
No, I haven't,
Yeah.
just the board of health.
I'm sorry, I
Okay,
left
so,
it on my
just go
desk.
see Karen, and she'll get you a copy for the office,
Okay,
all right?
alright.
So this was what I was talking about.
Okay,
This
It
is,
says that we are warned, that we
Okay.
are,
that's
oh,
what
I'm
Miss,
sorry.
I'm sorry, this is what Jim was saying, that we didn't have our 101, and we didn't have our property tax classification, and
Okay.
module 0.
so we understand this.
Yes, this is what I
Okay.
said, I have completed this.
Okay.
So this we
Okay.
have completed.
Okay, and do you know something, I wanna tell you something about the meeting law that I understand. You're the chair, right?
Yes.
So technically, we're supposed to kinda, I believe we're supposed to get permission to speak from you. So, just so you know, that's supposed to be, I think, how it works, like,
Okay,
It's
So
going,
we're not automatically allowed to speak,
Right,
Right.
Right, okay.
so, but you, so you have,
you're on deck. You're on deck with the correspondence, so you go right ahead.
Yeah,
okay.
all right. So this was just concerning what you had expressed.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
So you guys wanna make sure that I get all copies of whatever correspondence
Yes, if we
Right.
get anything in, yeah.
to you guys.
Yeah.
Or at least go over it, right?
Right.
Cause I don't necessarily have to give you all the copies. This is correspondence, for instance, this is here. This was, on the assessor's computer also.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it and see.
Oh, I didn't know how we're supposed to go over this, but, this is a question that I have too, like why these people have to send something in. This was a store, you know what store it is? I believe it's 1300. But it's a store in town, okay?
Okay,
And they have something that they're supposed to fill out, and I believe this is a new process,
okay.
cause I don't have other forms right now. But this has to do with, assessing, I think, perhaps like the personal
Personal
property.
property of what they have, yeah, yeah.
So,
We can.
in
probably-
town.
Does the form have a form number, like 492 or anything like that?
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what, I had 5938 on it,
Yeah,
so,
It's for the, to assess, for whatever personal property they have to add for the taxes. So there's probably a list that went out with those.
right, but that's the only one so far that I've received, and,
So we probably have to find the list,
Okay.
just to know if,
right, who got what,
right,
yeah.
so that's what.
And I
think this
believe
is.
it's probably new, so you know when something's new, people are gonna be like, we don't have to fill this.
Is that got a date limit on it, like 30 days? That's
Yeah, see, I don't know, see, this is what we all
Yeah.
kinda need to find out, but I can certainly look into that.
I believe the gentleman I'm meeting with today said he would give us some information, cause a lot of that information does have to go to him.
So if this is his personal assets, why are we getting?
It's for the store.
It's
Oh,
the
It's
personal
store,
commercial.
property.
right, right.
Store,
Yeah,
for the
it's
store,
for the,
okay.
a commercial
All right.
Mhm.
business.
And you know what I learned recently? That if your personal assets in your house are basically yours, but if you have a second house, that's when they're up for personal property.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
All right, how about review resumes for assistant assessor and schedule interview?
okay, which I don't have any of that, so.
I actually forgot my list, I can't believe it. Do you bring yours for the
Yes.
interviews? Thank you.
I happen to have,
I did have
Oh,
a
what a-
list that I sent Tim, I
so the
can't
ones
believe it.
in the clip I've got here, they're,
Oh, what about the setup with the
Turn
keys to
them.
the office? Everybody's all set?
Yes.
Okay.
these are the ones that we should really be looking at.
What was yours? Let me just see, cause I have a list of those. Oh, okay. We have some different ones. Okay. These were on my list.
Okay,
They were on my list. May I share another one?
sure, absolutely.
That you might. And maybe we could start with those top three. If you have them there. That's fine, 'cause they were on my list. I did 7, I probably did too many. Oh,
I took into consideration location.
yeah,
Some of them were pretty far out there.
yes, there was some.
And I thought the travel might be
Really?
a wee
Wow.
bit of a problem, especially during winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, It was nice to see a lot of people came from Warren.
Yes,
She was.
I think I talked to that guy on the phone once. One of these candidates that I just saw. I think he spoke on the phone.
that's always nice, a phone call follow-up. And that's like,
I believe that was ahead of time.
oh, ahead of time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't gotten any follow-up calls yet. Yeah.
But a follow-up phone call for anybody that's submitted a resume is a feather in their cap for.
Okay.
So get their name by all means, if they call and
Okay,
say, hey, I
sure.
was just curious whether or
Yep.
not the position was still open, I submitted a resume.
Definitely.
These, I wonder if you would, because we need in case they've already gotten jobs, did you have any thoughts on that?
Did they get jobs with, by the,
No.
Oh.
Did you have any thoughts on those resumes? So we can, because I did have these two actually.
Were those in your,
I'm trying to
list?
look. Not so much this one,
Okay,
but this one was,
so he just gave you two, right?
he just gave me two. I had
Right.
like, I kind of remember,
So I think you had 7, right?
I did have 7, because I
So if we
thought,
just add his one, that would be 8, right? If you
This
already
is the
had,
same.
yeah, if you already had his,
yeah,
so could we just call those 8 people then?
I have, I think I gave you the list.
Yes,
of-
I do. Go
So
ahead.
if you could print them out, then I
Yeah.
would have that information.
All right.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no problem. I can send it to this printer right here.
Did you see this? I did have 8. I'm not, just one wasn't on my list. He was definitely on my list. And this gentleman was on my list. I think he gave me 3, actually, Kevin.
so, what did you wanna know about these two?
What's your thoughts on
Um,
this one in particular? This one here, in her experience from where she is coming from. I thought
North
she,
Brookfield, I don't think
Just-
North Brookfield is that bad for me. I travel to North Brookfield
Yeah.
twice a day.
but just her experience and where she's been, I thought perhaps that would be some asset to us. And help.
So the correspondence,
Keep it down in there, sorry.
Well, I'll tell you, what, to generate an abutters list, it's hard to find even people that understand what an abutter is.
Yeah,
Uh,
so I thought that she looked like, I don't wanna go through things, of course, everyone, but I thought that looked like a good support for the office.
Absolutely.
So she was one I had considered, possibly, being able, and also, I had the list, also this young lady as well, this person as well as the 2 vehicles, so I had 7. Not knowing whether they're still available.
can I have, you guys, how
Yeah,
long
this,
you,
this one's a definite,
Okay.
bring her in,
Mhm.
most definitely.
Okay.
This one, Angela.
Thank you. Probably just the list here, everything else is kind of.
Yep.
Yeah. So I can sort out these. And have you take a look at those. So these are the ones I had.
Hi.
Hello?
hi, how come, you coming in for the meeting?
No.
Okay, how can I help you?
Business, is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Hi, I'm Jim DeMayo.
This
Hi,
is
Mrs. Mayo.
most definitely,
Sheila,
Yeah,
Sheila.
so I'm gonna, what I'm gonna do for
I'm the
you,
clerical,
That's
yeah.
okay.
I'm gonna
There's actually
just
2 things.
make the list I
Okay.
had,
The first
and
is,
like I said, we
you
did
have
have
a piece of
some
paper that,
familiar.
Yeah, I
He was
do.
part of it,
So let me get this for you.
Okay.
William was, so it's funny, we did have a couple.
So you had some overlapping
We
ones,
did.
okay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
61.
I'm gonna go through
Program.
it
Oh,
real
okay.
quickly for you,
Okay.
and
Okay.
sort
And,
those
You know how
out,
much a check is?
just in
Check,
case.
to do the lien, to record it at the
Okay.
registry,
Yes, it's, usually $105.
and it's made out to the Commonwealth of Mass?
I'm not sure if they make it, it's probably, is it the registry? I think the registry deeds.
Can you
Let
check?
me check for you.
Maybe we should have a sign. People won't
Yeah,
enter,
yeah.
maybe. Okay, so here is as a possibility.
It is made out to the Commonwealth.
There's quite a bit more in there.
Now, does the town get a check too?
Huh?
Does the town get a check?
Yes. $15?
$15?
Yeah,
That's to the town,
the assessor's fee?
yep, the
Yeah.
town of Warren.
Yes, please.
This one was interesting with the 7-Eleven franchise locations.
Yes,
At least that what that did was brought in real estate.
yeah.
Yeah.
I need
There's
a list of
some,
the
I
butters
don't know if this is.
property.
You need an abutters list?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that he was
What's the,
involved with
property,
policies and
parcel
procedures and
number?
writing those.
Oh.
We definitely need someone.
It's on West Brookfield Road.
So you have the parcel number, my
I'm
dear?
gonna look it up.
Okay.
Procedures in his office that might help us.
Who's Old West Brookfield Road?
You want Old West Brookfield, you got a number?
Oh, I don't know, the nutritional management
You know, a
administrator.
street number?
Well, I think
No,
he just,
Once he sees these
Oh, yeah.
donuts, it's out the door.
Actually, I have
yeah,
everything.
I just thought, you know,
Okay.
in case, because we did have
Just
sent
take a
it out,
second.
they've been here since,
Okay.
in case no one's
Right,
available.
right.
That if we, maybe we can prioritize them and then, you know,
Right.
go down, we could do that.
Let's bring him in.
Yeah,
By all
bring
means,
them all in
yeah.
and see
Yeah.
who's available, who
Absolutely.
can come in
Right.
at that seven.
Absolutely.
Right.
And maybe we can prioritize them with what
Right.
that would make sense,
Right.
and then Cheryl can call them in that order.
Right, right, right.
And then we'll have another batch in case
Right,
that
exactly.
doesn't.
So why don't we, if the board is okay with it, combine all the ones that member Hardy has and Chair Makowski has, and we can give them to Sheila
Bring this
and,
one in.
and have her call and set up appointments.
Okay.
When would?
Oh, do you guys have, yeah, let's find out when you guys would wanna do this. Our best times or, so
think
I
we
would-
already said bring
Oh,
these two in
yep,
as well.
Yep, I think we're all set.
Cool.
I will not be here next week for that,
So it would have to be the following week.
yeah.
oh, it would have to be the following week
Yes,
for this?
yep, yep,
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Yep.
unfortunately.
yep.
Well, I know one guy in there, he's a school teacher, so he's gonna finish out the year, so. Maybe that'll,
Okay.
So let's move forward then with review of
So,
upcoming.
what date, do we have a date?
For the next meeting?
No, for when you would like to interview these candidates?
Whoa.
Do we have a calendar?
Yeah.
I think there's one behind, it's right behind you.
I'm just gonna get mine, is that okay to use?
Oh, yeah,
my
yeah,
phone for
yeah,
my
yeah.
calendar?
oh, the number, is that the number, should I look it up?
So we are.
So we're right here,
We're right here,
okay? Next week is not gonna work.
right?
So we have a short week
Okay,
the
so-
following week, which is right
Okay.
after Memorial
So
Day.
two,
So you have either Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
I'll make it
so that's gonna
Thursday.
be two
No,
checks,
make
right?
it two weeks from today.
Do you want to bring
No,
them
this is
all
for the
in at the
butters
same
notification.
time, like,
Oh,
how much
so
do we
I
wanna
need to-
allot,
you
or
need
do we
to
wanna
get
give 2 days? I
a
can do it
notification.
what are
And
we
we need a
looking
list
at,
of
the
butters.
28th
Yeah,
and the
okay, I'll do
29th?
that.
Okay, wait,
Okay.
Is that what we're looking
Now,
at, the 28th
well,
and the
13 and
29th?
14,
Are we gonna look at the 29th and the
there's-
30th?
there's a
for
right of
2
way.
days?
Well,
What
we
works
made it
best?
29th and the 30th.
I see
Okay,
it
for the
right there.
29th
Where?
and the
Well, the
30th.
power
I am
service.
free
It's not
those
the power
2
It's
days.
not them, it's a
So
different
I'm
one,
open,
right away,
Want
okay.
to do a
so
couple
we'll
each
find it.
day,
Let's
so
wait.
from like 10 to 12.
I'm surprised it's
So the
not
only
on
thing that on the 29th, if you
Well,
wanted
this is
me
an
to
old
be
map,
present
so
here,
let's get
29th, I
updated
do
map
have a
and see
commitment
if
for a
it's on
meeting
there.
from
Okay.
10
Yeah.
to 1.
Okay.
And I am open on the 30th.
so would the 28th and the 30th be better days?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
want to do interviews on the 28th and the 30th? And that's to give people, even if we call them now, enough time
Oh,
to
yeah.
get ready,
Mhm.
and the 30th? Now, here's the question, if me and Dawn are both here doing those,
Mhm.
is
That
it-
is a public meeting.
then it would be an open public
Yep.
meeting.
Mhm.
Should we inform them of that?
You can.
That
yeah.
because we're both
Yep.
here, it's, so are those, those would have to be posted by Sheila.
Right.
Okay.
How many people do we wanna bring in? I'm gonna be available from like 9 to 12.
Whatever
Right.
works for you, I'm very flexible.
So we have a total of 8 that you're gonna be called in, right?
Well, let's see how many we get, right?
Okay,
But we
right.
can give people times.
But you could do 4 slots
Yes.
each time?
Each day,
Okay,
okay, there you go,
Yeah,
beautiful.
okay.
Yeah, then that's like a half hour apiece, give or take a couple
Yeah.
minutes.
Mm-hmm,
We should be able to determine from there.
I think so, I think so.
Okay.
And actually, that day in between that you're not here, maybe we could just, could we communicate about that, or would that be another open?
That would be an open meeting, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, if you have, stuff that you want me to, you know, to convey, I
Okay.
can certainly do that.
Okay,
There's a thing out there called, Deb, Jim, help me out here. What's that whenever you can't talk about issues
right, right.
other than
Yeah, right.
within the office?
Okay, that's why I'm
yeah.
saying that would be that. Okay, that's all cool, that's fine, that sounds good.
We
So
would be breaking the open meeting law
Yeah,
or
we don't
something
wanna
like
ever do
Yeah,
that.
right.
You don't.
Alright,
Be surprised how
so
fast word can get
I'll
around
just-
out there.
I'll do interview. We'll be interviewing that day, and Cheryl at least can post that.
So if you just give her the copies of the 8, and then,
Yes, before I will do that,
Yeah.
and the number, that we
Yep.
would appreciate the calls
Yep.
to happen, so that's good.
and, the time, so is it from 9 to 12, is that what you
Do you wanna
want?
do 9 to 12? Is that better for you? Like,
No, I can make it here just about 10 to 9.
okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
I'm just up in Brookfield there by the Pillsbury
Okay.
Funeral Home.
Okay.
So if you wanted to give you a little more time, you can do 9:30 if you need to, Doc.
I'm doing
Okay.
that. Oh, that way if the traffic doesn't move the way we need it to,
Yeah,
Because
we
then
can
we-
just expect, and then
Yeah.
we can.
I got that one red light, could be a real bear.
So we'll make sure.
9:30 to
You want
12,
buttons
okay.
for those?
Yeah,
Okay.
So can we?
please.
I'm gonna take these tacks out of here for now, we
I
need like
know.
a 6-penny nail or something, maybe, huh?
Sorry, but it was tacked there, so I'm just trying to tack it back up. And I'll share with Cheryl what we decided. For that. Okay,
So you got the 8 that you're going to give Sheila, correct?
I do,
Okay.
and I will put those in some kind of order
Beautiful.
for that. So we're gonna talk about, we did that. The next one, I think, is upcoming assessing timelines. And
Review.
How many feet?
I got
They
this
can be
assessing
invitation to it.
calendar,
Oh, okay, very good.
Yeah,
which
do 20.
says
Yeah.
what
Take
we're
20 feet.
supposed to be, doing for the different months for May, but we also have some work which unfortunately has been left over. So I have been, talking to a few people, about that. So these are just our tasks for now, but, the tasks for June are very heavy.
Mm.
And one of the things I'd like to, discuss before we do any more is discuss some of those tasks I believe Roy is involved with. And one thing I asked, Sheila to get, well, I think we're gonna be talking about it down here, is the vendor contracts. So we can get some support from Vadar, Patriots, or whoever we have contracts with, to know how to use those programs, so that we can access some of those materials. I believe some of them are involved and are in these programs that right now we don't have access to.
Mhm, mhm.
So.
There's a lot there.
There is a lot there, and I think what we wanna do is just get clarity on that. I
Yeah.
did, go into, the gateway, and I saw one of the MD ones, I believe you did. And so I'm not sure
Right.
if we're ahead of this.
So that is an older time table, and there was a new requirement that the MD1 needed to be filed by April 30th.
Right, that is another one for
Yeah.
that, yeah.
So I did take care of that for the
Okay.
board.
And these are just things we're supposed to be doing, throughout the month, like the assessor or the assistant assessor would be in charge of doing that.
Correct.
And the assessor is,
So the assistant assessor would handle a majority of this stuff, and bring it to the board, right?
okay,
And then the board would review it, make a determination, so on and so forth.
is the assessors, is that Roy? Is that?
No, that would be the assistant assessor, the person that you
Okay,
potentially are gonna hire.
okay,
So I think probably the most, well, they're all important. I don't know if we're in even years, we are on an even year, so the DLS notification of the proposed state-owned land, because
Hi,
we're in an
Bruce.
even year, we'll have to, take care of those. But we have to, by hopefully the first,
All right, you're gonna
or,
need, give me
then,
time to work on this
Okay.
because,
How come
we
I'll come
have
back
to
on,
commit the bill.
Monday, okay?
Give
And
the
you want
bill list, the
413,
tax paying
414.
bill list
Okay.
to the tax
Okay.
sounds
collector,
good,
the water.
okay,
Thank you, really
thank you,
appreciate it.
yep.
And
Yeah.
we have to issue that to her
Want
so
to
that
go open or
she'll be
close?
able
Open,
to
great,
get
yeah.
those,
Thank you.
Okay.
taxes and those bills out in time. And so I think we're gonna do it. It's in that Vadar system, which with the contract, we'll have them come in immediately. And I don't know even if we have passwords. I'll talk to Sheila if we have any passwords for those as well.
Mhm.
So
So the way, I know how Vadar works, so Vadar, what will happen is that the town is assigned, 7 logins for Vadar. And every login is about $700 or $800 that we have to pay per year, per our agreement with Vadar. And so typically, the login is assigned to the assistant assessor in the office. And so, because that will be the day-to-day stuff. And Vadar will also, as part of the deal, and we have some training left available, will train that assistant assessor on the software. I'm not too familiar with Patriot and how they work and operate, but I just do know that Vadar, because I was involved in some of the implementation of that.
my concern is that we're gonna be interviewing people, and we're looking at the end, basically, of May, that we probably need some access to training for the Vadar, because if we wait for that.
Right.
And, the tax collector can't get what she needs.
Right.
And we know that there are consequences for tax bills and everything not getting out on time. So I would hope that we ourselves could have that training to make that happen.
Yeah, I would agree.
You mean like
So,
yesterday?
so I think that, maybe the board would wanna consider one member that would be like an interim type of, a login, and then,
Transfer that over.
then we'll, once the new person is set up and is moving forward,
Just
then
transfer it.
there'd be a transfer.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
I think, I was hoping I don't even know the password to get in, that they can share some stuff and
Yeah.
walk us through
Yeah.
that portion, so we make
Mhm.
sure we do what we need to do. Since it's preliminary, that it shouldn't be
It shouldn't be too
It
too
shouldn't be
too tricky. Yeah.
too tricky if we
Mhm.
add in the new growth. And again, we have to be certified,
Mhm.
because then that new tax rate is gonna be set
Right.
for the bill. So if we're not, then they won't. give
They
us-
won't
they
set
won't
that tax rate.
Yeah, so it's important for us to,
Yeah.
try to work hard and get that.
Do we call those vendors, individual vendors?
I was going to call, or
Alright.
have Cheryl call them and
Yeah.
set them up. There's probably some new contracts. I was told that we also have someone who does mapping. I don't know, is the Patriots?
I think there's another mapping company that the town uses with GIS. I think it's
Yes, we need,
yeah.
we need to talk to them. Yes,
Yep,
yes, yes, that's
I think there's some emails that are
There
in,
are
in-
some
in
emails in
the,
there. I was gonna,
yeah.
okay, so I'll see if I can't access those and,
mhm.
because that's important to communicate with them as well.
Did you wanna call them, or did you want Sheila to call
I can have Sheila call them. I just didn't know all the contracts that we have. I'd asked her to check in with, the town clerk, because she's a holder of the contracts, to get them for us,
Mhm.
so that we'd be able
Lori?
to, Lori,
Yeah.
so we'd be able to at least review them and see what we could be allowed. I think they all should be able to provide us with training.
them? Yeah, absolutely,
Mhm.
hopefully, at least a
Yeah.
good overview,
Mhm.
so that we know what we're looking at and what the purpose,
Yeah,
the
I
big
s-
picture of
yeah.
each purpose
Mm-hmm.
of each one of those programs does
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
find that that's probably the most challenging is you know what to do, but you don't know what program they're in,
Right.
right? I think once we get the key to the technology, like I found out a lot of things talking to someone with the DLS, when you know where things are, then it's not
You
that
almost,
difficult to
yeah,
access
you almost need
them.
some kind of like block diagram, like what's the question? Question is, tax rate or something like
Yeah.
that, go to this program.
Well, that's why I think it'd be nice if we can establish some procedural
Mhm.
guidelines there.
Yeah,
Okay.
So, okay, so
awesome.
we have to, so we went through the calendar. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So you're gonna call them, so
I'm gonna
let's finish this up, so you're gonna call them and,
Set some of them.
set up dates.
Yeah.
You know what, just set up dates, and let's, if it turns out to be somewhere, I'm almost done here, I'm like on my last couple of weeks.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna be open, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be, if we go into June, I think I'm just gonna have 2 days, the 17th and the 18th, and after that, I'm open.
Okay,
These are because of snow days that happen during the year.
okay.
So I essentially have 1, 2,
Mhm.
3, 4 weeks left.
Okay. Of school, yep, sounds good. Again, I think we kinda talked about the, applications that we're gonna have to have those in executive session and go over them, and we have quite a bit left over and quite a bit that's coming in.
You did the municipal calendar, right?
Yeah, we went through that real briefly, yeah.
Okay.
And I will continue to go through more of it with,
Mhm.
with the consultant. And we haven't got the, but I can get those two. These two, I don't know where Sheila is, but.
I'm
Sheila,
right here, I'm sorry,
okay.
you need me
Sheila,
for
sorry.
something?
Yeah, you gotta, you're taking the minutes, right?
I'm sorry. Oh my God.
The,
Okay.
I actually want Sheila here for this.
You look concerned, Jim, don't be concerned. Okay, so what can I
Yeah,
do?
so the house number, just a discussion, and which I think is just a discussion.
Yeah,
The house numbers in.
oh, yes, okay,
in-
I have the materials.
Yeah, I just wanna just share just a little.
Sure,
The house numbers, and it is just a discussion, the house numbers in the bylaws are for the highway department.
okay,
to
we need
be
to, let me
assigned.
give him the bylaw to read. It's all in the way you interpret it.
Yeah, but
And
it's
I
not
don't
even,
see, Deborah, we need to be really clear here. I don't see why, we are suddenly coming up with a new understanding of the bylaws. We have given these people
I'm
we
not,
gave
Sheila,
these people an application to fill out, I have it right here.
I'm not even dealing with
She
that.
filled
Sheila.
it out weeks ago, she's been waiting for these numbers, all they need to do is be approved. So I think it's only fair and reasonable at this point, if we approve what's on our desk to approve, and then if you, moving forward, you wanna start worrying about who's actually totally really responsible for this,
Sheila, I'm not.
when we've been doing it
talking-
for a long
Right.
time.
And I'm
Hey
not.
Sheila, can you let Mrs. Hardy finish, please?
Well, she
Okay.
Okay,
she
you
understands this topic, and we all do, and
Good.
let's just get through it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the bylaw says that the highway supervisor.
It does not say that, it says,
Sheila, it does.
the bylaw does not say the
Okay.
highway supervisor takes care of this business that we're talking about.
Right.
Let's read the bylaw.
Let's
We're,
just,
we're
let's,
trying to read that
let's
now.
just, Mrs. Hardy has the floor.
No, but it's her opinion, and why does it make, can someone tell me how it makes sense that we've been doing this in this department for years, assigning house numbers, is what we're talking about. Okay, it's 14D. But can somebody tell me how it makes any logical sense that suddenly we are reading a bylaw that may or may not actually mean something different than the current practice? It may or may not, we're not sure yet, okay? We need more clarification. But at the moment, we have a taxpayer and a resident, somebody who's depending on us or relying on us to perform this job that we said we do to her weeks ago. It's not fair to turn around to her and say, oh gee, well, we've had a new interpretation of the bylaw that, who are we? We're not even bylaw experts.
Yeah, we're not saying, I don't think there's a discussion as to whether or not the house numbers are gonna be approved or not. We're
I
talking.
thought that was the discussion.
No, that isn't the discussion.
We're talking
Sheila.
about the process.
That's not
But
the
the
discussion.
process is, it's already, we got the numbers, all they need to do is sign off on them, and we can give it to them, and then
Well,
going forward, we can be absolutely perfect to a T to whatever that means,
Okay, all right. Just-
right?
Just let the board make a determination of what the
Well,
process they wanna do.
we are not saying that this person should wait any longer, or should be put off to another department, correct, Ms. Hardy? That is not what we're saying, right?
Sheila, this is, let the board have the discussion. This is not a time for questions to the board. The board discusses this, you take the minutes, and we move on.
This needs to get taken
Okay.
care of, okay,
We-
cause I've been party responsible here
Okay, all
for
right.
the past month.
We're
So,
looking to resolve it
And I
now.
have given somebody our word, the
Mhm.
board, the
Okay.
department's word, that we were gonna take care of this because we've given them applications to fill out and
Okay.
everything else.
All right.
So she keeps following up, and I told her this was gonna get taken care of,
Okay,
today.
we're in the
and
process
there's
of
no
doing it.
reason it shouldn't be,
Okay, we're in the process of looking at it, okay?
right?
Thank you. So, Mrs. Hardy, go ahead, I'm sorry.
So my thought on that is that if indeed that is the direction that we do it, that we should try to give the taxpayer the appropriate response to who they're supposed to go to. And if the highway supervisor has no play in the game, it shouldn't say that they're involved in it in any way.
But I
But
believe
that's a
that what
separate-
it is saying
Okay.
is
M-
that
m-
the
Mrs.
highway
Sheila,
department
Sheila,
is responsible
this
for
is
the
a-
numbers
Sheila,
on the house.
Sheila, this is a discussion for the board.
But we need to be very clear here.
Okay, we need to know everybody's role here, okay?
Okay,
So this is.
But
this
what
is-
has
this-
been my role, Jim, for
this is
1 month?
This is the.
These
this-
guys just got here, just got sworn in a couple of days ago. It's wonderful, we need a board, totally awesome, fantastic. But we've been doing a lot of work in this office since, before they got here.
Interesting, Deb,
Yeah.
is it,
Can I use the restroom?
Yes.
Thank you.
the highway superintendent, or is it designee? So all we gotta do is say, hey Deb,
I don't know if a board can be a highway supervisor designee.
Right,
The board
Well,
can't be their designee. I'm not, whatever we do, we do. I did talk to Jeremy, and he said he will talk about it. That's all he said. He said he's willing to come and we can have a conversation about it. It's just what the book says pertaining to the numbers for new construction,
yeah,
where some people feel that the highway has nothing to do with it, and that's okay, then it shouldn't state that they do.
right?
Right, so I'm just looking for, do we need to change that and make it all assessor responsibility for that action? but that's probably not a conversation we can have without the highway.
Right, yeah,
Supervisor.
because it's in the bylaw, he's gotta be present for that and say,
Right. So I thought that we should have that conversation, just a conversation,
sure.
just to see, because right now, they say they have nothing to do with it at all, but the bylaw says they have something.
Jeremy says he has nothing to do with it?
They say they don't do anything like that. So I think it's just maybe an old bylaw that years ago, before they got all this technology
So-
on mapping.
And then it's very possible that, like it says, the superintendent, highway superintendent or their designee, I think somewhere along the line, somewhere out there on,
Possibly,
you
yeah,
know, they said, you do it,
right,
you know?
yeah.
And here it is, so have we been doing it in the past?
I think there's a good reason why we do it, is
Oh.
because of the mapping and the technology they now have to do through the Mass GIS system.
Okay,
From my understanding, with just briefly speaking with Mass GIS, the issue is doing it in their standards.
yeah,
And because the house numbers aren't really for us. The house numbers are for emergency, medical staff.
Okay, our surrounding towns, and I'm speaking as a person, pretend I'm a public person sitting in the thing. The town around us, the assessors department issue the house numbers. What the highway department is responsible for is giving them numbers, physical numbers, that are within compliance, which I believe they're supposed to be 4 inches. What I heard from somebody in town, they're supposed to be in compliance with something of what size they're supposed to be.
Right, that is in there. right,
Okay.
uh-huh.
So that's what we believe the highway department
So I was,
is responsible for, or whoever it says in that bylaw, whoever they designate.
right, but the
So
board
they
can't
could
be,
designate someone else to pass out the numbers too. So,
Jeremy has agreed, the highway supervisor.
yes,
and I'm
tell,
not-
tell me what he agreed to.
He's coming to the meeting so we can have a conversation.
Here?
Not now, but we're gonna
No,
schedule.
we're not
it
putting this person off. She's getting her numbers,
For here, so.
right?
I
She's
think-
getting her numbers? Or do you wanna say that this is legitimate? If I was a member of the public waiting for numbers for 6 weeks, okay?
But
And
we've only
we had
been
another
for a
board here, no, you guys are flim-flamming these people,
No,
and they should.
Sheila,
No,
Please.
I'm a member of the public here too, I live in the town, and I
Okay.
expect the town to function
I just,
reasonably well. And when we have had a history of giving house numbers from the assessors department, when all the surrounding towns do the same thing, okay? I expect us to give this lady what she submitted, a valid application that we provided her from the assessors department, okay? So she filled out what she was supposed to fill out, it's right here,
yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Yep.
So she's just expecting those numbers, because without those numbers, she
She
can't
can't get-
move forward. So she can't
Absolutely.
get a sewer permit, she can't do things because of our inaction.
But
Okay,
Sheila, what you have
when
to
we gave
understand
her-
is
no,
we
we
have to
don't-
make sure that it's done correctly.
Oh, really? So everything is by the book now? And if why weren't we not doing it by the book before? And why do we think that every other town assessor's department delivers numbers and the highway department gives the markers, okay? Makes total sense, but I don't know what's going on here.
I'm trying to explain, so
You're
why-
not explaining anything. You're flim-flamming, and you're
Okay, so
you're just
Sheila-
not servicing this person in town,
Okay,
and I have a real problem with that.
so what would be your answer to servicing this problem?
Okay, the answer would be, I have 3 numbers here,
You have three
okay?
numbers, yeah?
We have the numbers.
Mhm.
All you guys need to do is sign off on them, and she can come pick them up.
And where did you get the
And
numbers
what
from?
we do, what we
Where
do,
did you get the numbers from, Sheila?
here's what we did. We went on to the map system
Yeah?
that we have in the office, okay?
The GIS?
No, whatever the CAI cards.
Okay.
Okay, so we went on to the map system that exists already, okay? And we looked at the properties across the street, what those numbers were.
Yeah,
we looked at the numbers on either side of the property,
yeah.
okay, and we came up with 3 responsible numbers.
Who's we?
The department, myself,
You know,
myself.
okay.
Oh, all 3 of you.
Right, so
Okay.
I think what Sheila's
So
saying,
what I'm trying to say is we came up with a responsible answer to this lady's problem,
okay,
Okay.
okay? It is totally responsible, it's totally defensible, you know, like in other words, it makes total logical sense. There's no problem with it from a safety standpoint, like, you know, in other words, so let's pretend, cause the numbers, there's 3 lots between there's 3 lots that she's looking for, okay?
Yeah,
And there's a lot on either side of her, and there are lots across the street. All of those lots have numbers.
yeah,
So you know how when a fire department or police or anybody going into a situation, if sometimes they see the numbers on this side of the road, but they may not see them, you know what I mean?
sure.
But so we made the numbers to line up so that the 20s are with the 20s, the teens with the teens, and the zeros with the zeros. So that if they're driving into the area and they're not looking at the right side of the road, they know they're still in the right area because the numbers line up. You see what I'm saying? And we also have a list, Dawn, in the desk of all the personnel we are once we approve these numbers,
Oh.
we have a list of all personnel that we are supposed to contact from the assessor's office,
Yeah,
okay, to tell them what the numbers are. And
did you do that?
I can't do that until you guys approve it. When
Can
you
I see
guys,
that list? Can
yeah.
I see that list?
yes.
What size are those letters?
Huh?
What size are the letters?
What do you mean size of the letters? I believe, I'm not sure, but I heard, now I just heard this, John, I didn't see this personally, but in the bylaw, but I heard there's some kind of 4-inch thing.
Yeah.
But we don't hand out the numbers, so we don't see the numbers. Do you see what I'm saying? So
Oh, I
here,
thought I thought you said you had the numbers, you were ready to give
here's
this
the
lady.
list, and it says new house number, right? And it says assessor at warrenmass.gov, Monday, June 27, 2022. So this has been a practice going on a long time, but anyways, this is the list of people we are supposed to contact.
So, I will just share, because I think what she's saying has some correctness. I am just proposing, because we are supposed to report any new numbers to Mass GIS. I am proposing that you tell them, it's a quick email, they told me all we would have to, and say, based on your research, which you've done, these are the numbers, the house numbers, because they're the ones that send it out everywhere. Based on this, these are the house
So
numbers.
from what I understand, my understanding of the practice in our department is that we issue the numbers, we vote on them, first of all, we approve them, and then based on that list right there, we send out to all those people on that
Right.
list.
It's- Okay, so it's
what
supposed to come through a system called
See,
Mass GIS.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Ms. Hardy, but what I'm trying to say is that there are a lot of people, there are a lot of moving parts in the game.
Yeah.
So once these people get their in other words, I'm not sure we are the ones that contact Mass GIS. I think what happens is sort of an automatic process, and it goes more formally. I'd be happy to call Mass GIS or talk to them
Right, I
and
think we can,
see if we're the ones they
well,
rely
they
on
have
to
a
get that
form,
information.
they have a form, and I have asked them for the master list. All I'm saying is it would be 5 or 10 minutes for us to, or you can say, we have new construction, just a quick email. These are the numbers that we are proposing, because the numbers are for,
But do
Yeah,
you
for the
think that
contact.
this department has not done that all these years and
I
somehow
don't
like
know.
functions? I don't understand.
So-
We don't know,
We
we're all
don't.
new,
We're all
right?
new.
Right,
Including
sure.
you.
But I try to base some of my opinions
Right.
on logic or what I think is
Okay.
logic, that's
Well,
all.
So,
We don't know.
point
Okay.
taken, so right here, one of them,
a person on the highway department.
Yes,
So this is from Priscilla. Priscilla worked here, I don't know how many years ago.
well, that's
So,
that's
and I
dated
do
to
believe
twenty
she
twenty-two.
worked, no, I got a gut feeling that 2022 is just for the change of this address or for this new address on this,
Oh, you could be right about that,
you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So Priscilla's been gone for a couple of years.
okay,
So, let's call the highway department and get their confirmation from Jeremy that, hey, this is what we've got, this is the number, do you confirm this
Right,
number?
but Jeremy said he will
But
come
he
to a
can't
meeting.
Let's work as a
confirm that.
team,
He
let's work as a
can't,
team,
though.
and
I know what
here's the
you're saying.
team, all right, so at least let's give them a call and see if they confirm.
but you
Or bring
guys,
them to a
all right,
meeting.
but you could,
Yeah,
here's the
coming to
deal,
a meeting.
we're in a meeting, right, so
Yeah.
what happens here is, you guys can't approve this outside of the meeting, unfortunately.
I agree with you.
So it has to be approved in the meeting.
Can,
Right.
So we got the numbers, right?
Yeah.
And
We have the numbers.
we have the numbers, we just need you guys to put your sign on
Do
it.
you have the physical number?
No, I
Oh,
don't,
you have
that's
the
correct,
physical.
yeah.
They're 2.5 inches, by the way.
Oh, okay, okay,
Just so you
okay,
know.
all right, thank you.
So, what I am proposing, if we send a quick message to Mass GIS,
Yeah,
that these are the numbers that, because they're very helpful,
yeah.
these are the numbers we are proposing.
No, we don't propose
We
numbers
can,
to them.
but you can ask for direction.
But we don't propose numbers to them. If
They could say to you, you're right on the board. These are excellent numbers. These would be exactly the numbers that we would have signed.
Let me
We
make-
would have
But
assigned.
you guys are responsible at this point. Let's just,
So,
is it possible, Deborah, or Miss Hardy? Is it possible that we can do it according to the usual practice of this office right now? And then, after we approve this, because we only can approve it in this meeting. So after we approve it, I'd be more than happy to start calling around to Mass GIS, Jeremy, everybody, you know what I'm saying. So I'm more than happy to make sure that we're doing the right thing.
I would rather do, for me, an email just stating, they said they are here and they would help with those, to make sure it's all in line, but,
But
that's a
they
conversation.
don't do it.
They will help us with numbering location of property, because that's what
But they
do.
could care less.
No,
Do you know
they
what,
do
do you know what
care.
West Brookfield does? This
What-
is what I heard
Sheila,
West
stand
Brookfield
by,
does.
Stand by.
Okay,
What we're going to do is exactly what Deb says here. We're gonna give them a little tickler. We're gonna let them know what our intentions are.
we're gonna sound like the biggest idiots on the face of the
You
planet.
know what, we're gonna look like that maybe possibly for 5 minutes. If we don't, we could be it forever. So, we're go-
Oh, you want me to call while we're in the meeting? That's fine.
No,
Just
after the
an email, just
But
a
if
quick
we
email.
call, but, so you're gonna approve the numbers and then
I
we,
would
No, we're not
say,
approving any numbers at this point in
no,
time.
we have to.
No, we don't.
What do you mean?
Just what I said. we
Okay,
don't.
you know what? I
Why?
think you're being a joker right now. I really do.
Why?
Why not? Why don't you think you are?
Ms.
If you
Ms.
were waiting for something,
Sheila,
we
Sheila,
are required to
Sheila,
act
Sheila,
reasonably and
Sheila,
responsibly.
Sheila,
So,
you're completely out of order. These
No,
are
I'm not.
This is a board. This is.
But
we
we
have some
have issues,
decorum
we
here.
have issues
Yeah,
waiting.
we have some decorum issues here. Okay, you have to.
Pretend I'm a member of the public.
Hey, listen, you're an employee. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, and so, as an employee, there's responsibilities with that. And so, this
If-
is what the board would like to do. You have to follow suit with what the board wants. Okay.
I think if they respond very quickly, they may say, this is exactly what needs to happen, we can do that.
So nobody knew how to do it, Miss Hardy, until you get here.
I
Okay,
didn't
thank you
say
very
that.
much.
No,
Appreciate
you're
your help.
completely out of order.
No, I
Sheila.
don't think so.
Yeah, you are.
Okay,
please, could you
I'll
just?
figure this out. I mean, just give me all your orders and we'll follow them, and I'm sure the department's
Correct.
gonna go
That's what we're
smoothly into
doing
the
right
future.
now.
So far,
Hello.
everything you've told me, I went over to the treasurer, like you told me to the other day, about some debt thing that they're supposed to owe us, or some figures. And she said, no, actually, we don't do that. And I said, oh, okay, thank you. But everything you've instructed me to do so far has been, a miss, okay?
Sheila, could you excuse us for a minute? Could you wait outside?
Yes,
the door?
I'd be happy
I
to,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Okay, so why don't we move on to the next item?
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay, review of applications for motor vehicle abatements, excise exemptions. Why is there an abatement for a motor vehicle? Why? 'Cause it's.
So we covered that, right, Ms.?
Yes, we
Still
did.
do we?
Okay.
Okay, you all
Yeah.
set there, cool.
So, notice.
Does anybody have any idea what we wanted to do with this? I mean,
Uh,
this is a clear-cut case, you know,
We're recording.
Yeah.
We may
So
want to-
what the number issues, what we'll handle is, I think, if that's what the board would like to do in terms of reaching out and getting Jeremy here at the next meeting, I think is a prudent thing to do, to get clarification before any sign-off is happened.
Yeah. My concern only is, from what I've been reading, Mass GIS is concerned that there isn't a people are just, there is no proper, they're not following their procedures
Yeah.
for assigning numbers in emergency situations.
Yeah.
All I'm proposing is that we share with them, we're
Yeah.
new,
Yeah.
we're new at assigning numbers.
Yeah.
And to just say, hey, we're new at assigning numbers.
Yeah.
We're the member of the board assessors.
Yeah.
We wanna make sure that the numbers we are assigning right now is in line with what, because the work isn't for us.
Yeah, would
The
you be
work,
kind enough to give them a call and find out?
I don't, actually, Sheila has done a great deal of work on researching the numbers
Yeah.
that she would like to assign.
Yeah.
I would just like to make sure that it's in line with their process and procedure that they would like us to do.
Could you give them a phone call and back your idea up, Deb?
I can send it to them. They are the people.
Email it to them, that'd be
Right,
great.
I would have to get that information from Sheila, because Sheila does, I don't know what numbers has been assigned. They have their own protocol. It's not that I don't think the town has done it right, but now they're asking for things to be pinpointed, and they just feel like if we know we're on the right track,
Yeah.
we can continue on that track.
I agree, Deb, I agree. That way we can get whatever information you can with a call to them
I
through
have- I
yourself,
did
get the
put
phone
out-
number from Sheila.
Yeah, I have put out an email to them, just asking them, to give us some
Yeah.
feedback on that situation, just so, like, we've only been here a week,
Yeah.
just to make sure whatever path we're going is in the right direction.
Sure,
I'm not
I agree.
opposed to anything, but I'm not saying nobody, I'm just saying we weren't giving clear
10-4,
directions. And hopefully
Beautiful.
if we do a procedure,
yep,
the other thing I'm looking into is to ask them when was the last time they received updates for new numbers from us,
yeah,
to make sure those people are all in the emergency directory for
yep,
the state.
okay, awesome. You know what would be interesting is also a gentleman by the name of Jimmy Fountain. He puts up so many new houses in this town that I am sure he's got that, how that happens for addresses. In the back of his brain, somewhere
Yeah.
there, you know,
Again, just complying with that MSG.
absolutely.
And we do work with
So
them.
none of us, nobody else, the assessors department has no clue. Just Jimmy Fountain's gonna tell us now what to do?
No.
No, it was
Okay.
just,
So we decided now that we're gonna check in with, the bottom line is, we decided that we're gonna check in with GIS, Mass GIS.
Yes. we're gonna check in
Okay.
with everybody,
Who's everybody?
everybody that's on this list, everybody.
So what do we check in when we say something to them? Cause they're waiting for numbers when we check in with them. So
With-
what are we checking in with them for? Everybody else on that list?
To confirm that everybody has got the same database and that we're all on the same level.
What do you mean the same database and that we're all on the same level? What do you mean by that?
I mean, is that everybody on this list.
They're waiting, they hear from us, they're expecting a number,
Okay,
okay?
then we're gonna give them that number and say, do you agree?
I think she's,
So now we're gonna take a vote about numbers? That's the new
I'm
policy?
gonna confirm that everybody is on the same wavelength with this.
Sure,
number.
I mean, I don't understand, I didn't know we had all this
Okay.
sweeping power to just change, protocols as we go.
All right, so,
Okay, moving forward.
next one,
I mean, I don't know why you don't understand.
is there another,
Good morning,
anything else on the
town
agenda?
warrant assessors
I
department,
don't
this
know
is
what
Sheila,
this
how can I
is.
help
Notice
you?
No, I think we can skip over that.
Okay, and I don't know.
And then the recording of meetings, so obviously, moving forward, I would recommend that the board, consider having their meetings in either the selectmen's meeting room
Okay.
or the finance committee
So
meeting
you said
room.
Logan Meredy?
It would be easier for, cable,
Oh,
to,
NARDI.
record and
So
broadcast those
we,
meetings.
So
we
did
are,
you guys jump to
we
the
are
last
between
one down here?
boards,
Yeah.
we're just
Okay.
now getting a board of assessors. That could
And-
actually approve your application.
I think, Ms.
Okay,
Hardy, you're meeting with
So
Roy
it's
at
been sitting
one
here, and
individually,
I think I sent
okay?
a letter to everybody, although
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
there's
you were
anything else,
included
is
in
there?
that, but you
No,
actually
I
were
make a motion
given a
to
number,
adjourn the Board of
so,
Assessors
uh,
meeting at,
so you have nothing, to
11:26.
show for that, is that correct?
On, May
So we have,
16th.
we
Is
had
there a second?
8
Second
applications
motion?
here
Do I get a
that were
second?
set
Motion's
aside,
made and
and
seconded.
they
All
were
in favor,
numbered
say
by
aye.
the
Aye.
assessors department.
Everybody have a
Okay.
great day.
But
Thanks,
we
Tom.
All
didn't
right.
have
Thank you, Mr.
signatures of
Chairman.
approval
Thank you,
from the
members.
last